Coming up on 8:37 now, January is commonly seen as a great time to create new goals or maybe take steps towards bettering yourself. And for many, that means taking a break from alcohol.
Our chief business correspondent Taylor Young joins us. And Taylor, the number of people participating in Dry January has exploded in recent years, and the beverage industry as a whole, well, they're adapting.
Yeah, I mean, not only are we seeing a record number of people participating in this month-long sober period, but this is also contributing to a larger movement called the Sober Curious movement, where people are just consuming alcohol less in general. And before we get into the business impact, I think we got to look at exactly how many people are giving Dry January a shot. And considering we're only halfway through this year's go-around, the most recent data highlights last year's participation. According to the research company Civic Center, a whopping 25% of Americans at or above the drinking age successfully completed Dry January. That's up nearly 10% from the year prior. Now, the age group to lead the pack was Gen Z, followed by millennials. And as for the 55-plus crowd, well, they're the least likely to participate in the challenge. And while we don't know the full picture of this year's Dry January, it is expected to be the biggest one yet. And I think one of the interesting findings from this study is people who participate in Dry January tend to actually drink less after that month-long period has ended. So, this is also contributing to a larger trend, again, of people just consuming less alcohol, especially the younger generation.
Which, as a dad of 4 girls, that is actually really good news. So I'm curious about the impact here, because you would just think that this is healthy, obviously, for the people that are choosing to drink less alcohol. How does it affect the businesses, though, that rely on selling alcohol?
Many are adapting right now. So not only have we seen more bars and restaurants offering mocktails or alcohol-free beer, but we're also seeing spaces, entire breweries or restaurants not serving alcohol, just kind of solely relying on non-alcoholic beverages, also known as like alternative beverages. But one of the biggest thing that I think has come out of this is entire beverage companies really only selling alternative beverages. So yesterday I did catch up with the co-founder of Rebel Rabbit. It's an alcohol alternative beverage company based in Greenville, South Carolina, that sells products all along the East Coast, including here in Charlotte. And 3 years ago, they created a line of seltzers infused with cannabis. Their thought process was, well, if you're out at a social gathering or sitting at home, you can sip on something that's not alcoholic but will still give you some kind of a buzz. Now, the company's co-founder says Dry January is a huge month for their business.
This is our Christmas or our Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So it is a big deal. It is growing every year. It's getting more momentum. People are buying into it more. And I think that helps. Like, people need to, not drinking is really challenging. It's challenging to be the only one in a group not drinking. So I think as more people try Dry January, it's going to exponentially grow, and more people are going to continue to try it.
Now, the company actually also bought a brewery last year that was going out of business, which I think just shows the growing demand that people really are looking for these kind of spaces.
Now, alcohol has been around for centuries, of course, Taylor. So why are we starting to see more people drift away from it?
Yeah, so there's a couple of factors here. I think back in the 90s, there was this misconception that alcohol may be actually good for our health. And there was a segment on 60 Minutes that actually kind of reported this. And following that airing of that episode, wine sales increased by 40%. I think if you kind of fast forward to today, I think more Americans are aware of the impacts that alcohol has on our lives and our health. And that also kind of coincides with a recent report that came out earlier this year from the U.S. Surgeon General, kind of warning that alcohol can cause cancer and there's more cancer risk with alcohol. And I think lastly, just the fact that there's more places like dry bars or alcohol-free spaces kind of popping up, that it's just more socially acceptable for people to kind of be in social gatherings and not feel that pressure to drink.
All right, that is interesting and good news all at the same time. So, Taylor, thank you very much.